has stopped after a couple of days, and it is just a beautiful day out here. So I thought it'd be a great time to do a little update. I've got some things coming up that weren't growing before, and I'll show you that stuff. Okay, these are my nasturtium flowers, and these are edible, and they will taste like kind of peppery, and I'll be putting them in salads once the flowers grow, but these weren't even coming up at all the last time I showed you my garden. And these are my morning glories. They haven't actually started climbing yet, but you can see we've got the start of the little climbers here. Right there. And those will be pretty. My experience with them is they usually open up on a rainy day, and then the rain kind of smushes them first thing, so you got to kind of be watching for them. Here's an update on my zinnias. They're coming up pretty good. No flowers yet, but they're looking good. And then here, my scarlet runner beans. And they're starting to get the parts that are going to climb on them, but they haven't started climbing yet. I'll go down below and show you those closer. Okay, so see, I've got all of these that are coming off. They'll be climbing up the deck very soon, and they are pretty when they do. Okay, the blossoms are past on my chives. They're going to be just going to seed here very soon, but the chives are still good to eat. And my mint, I didn't have my mint last time I did a video. My sage is not huge yet, but probably 3 times as big as before. And my dill is coming pretty good. My blackberry bushes are getting the little green berries on them. Those should be ready next month. Look at all the little apples on one of my apple trees. I have a lot of apple trees here. Let me see, I got 1, 2 here, 1 out by the road, that's 3, 2 on the hill, 4, 5, 1 by my fire pit area, 6, another one further down, that's 7, 1 over where Corey parks the trailer truck, that's 8. A young one has sprouted up by my canoe garden, that's 9. I think that's it. I have 9 apple trees on my property. They were here when we bought the property. Here's my rhubarb. It's coming up pretty darn good. Get up close and see the stalks. Again, this is a Victorian one. And then I have this one little stalk. Right. Oh, it's growing 2 now. Oh, 3. Wow. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. I've got 1, 2 right there. And then another one. Where is it? Oh, I have such a hard time, guys. I am not the best camera person. There it is. And then another one right there. So that one, these 2, and then this cluster of 3 over here. These are my bush beans, and they are actually getting to the point of having blossoms on them now. Wow, I cannot even believe how big this summer squash has gotten. I think it's summer squash. It might be the spaghetti squash, but look, let me lay my hand here for comparison, and look at the size of that leaf. Huge. I think this one's actually my summer squash. That's doing great too. Zucchini are huge. Wow. The bush is enormous. Now, do you guys see this little bit of mildew here? I had one leaf like this started from this humid weather on what I think was my spaghetti squash plant. And I broke this right off, okay? I'm not going to leave that on to spread. I'm going to go put this in the fire pit to be burned. Okay, these are my pumpkins. And they are not doing as good as my squash, surprisingly, but we'll keep track of what that does. This is a New England pumpkin pie version, you know, just those small ones that'll make one pie. Some of my cucumbers, they're doing great. More cucumbers, they're doing fantastic. More cucumbers. I really need to get in with a hoe, hopefully this week, and do some weeding around the squash garden, but I don't know. We had a big Father's Day breakfast on Father's Day week, and I cooked a couple days for that, and then we celebrated Father's Day with Corey for like 3 days because he's the most awesome dad you guys can imagine, and he just really deserved to have like a multiple day celebration. And then this last week we had Codger's graduation, and I got ready all week for that, and that was a success. We'll be having a video on that. And now Corey's taking vacation starting, well, we could start going places this weekend. So his vacation actually starts on the 5th. And I don't know how much I'm going to be home, so maybe this garden's just going to kind of do its own thing this summer and I'll just harvest from it. But either way, it's growing fine, and just don't mind my mess. Okay, this is the pole beans. And I've got purple pole beans and burgundy pole beans in here. I do have a few pea plants around the edge, but they're not worth showing. It doesn't look like they're going to do a whole lot this year. Oh, my lilies are all budding up, and I don't know how soon until they're open, but I would say pretty soon. These are my radish plants, and I check the radishes, and they're about a ½ an inch around, so I want them to be about an inch before I pull them. These weren't even up the last time I did my video, and they've grown that much already. Here's a patch of leaf lettuce. I got several things of leaf lettuce growing here and there. More pole beans on this side of this old canoe. They're doing great.